Welcome to the European Championships. We are here in Chamonix, the site of the very first Winter Olympics in 1924. This small commune is home to just 9,800 people, but it boasts one of France's oldest skiing resorts and also the largest mountain in all of Western Europe, Mont Blanc. Standing at 15,781 feet, it attracts over 20,000 mountaineering tourists each year. We're here for the 10th Lead and Speed European Championships, traditionally held every 2 years since the competition began in 1992. Since then, we've seen 28 different champions, and we're here now to find ourselves 4 more from the 20 different nations gathered to compete. In the speed category then, just to pick out a few athletes to watch out for as we move through the competition, Julia Kaplina, the recent world record holder, breaking the previous world record at a World Cup just recently, is definitely someone to keep your eye on. Also, Yulia Levochkina, who used to own the world record, and that happened here in Chamonix in 2012, will be competing in the women's category. In the men's, Stanislav Kokorin, the world ranked #1, phenomenal athlete, will be here as well, and he has never been European champion. Could this be his year? It is time to get things underway with the speed qualifications. Welcome back to Chamonix. We are here for the speed qualifications of the European Championships 2013. My name is Daniel Finn. I'll be with you all the way through this speed qualification round. Men's and women's to get through. Quite a lot of athletes as well here competing. Also some of the athletes that were competing during the lead section, either yesterday for the men's or earlier today for the women's. Here also to try for the overall European Championship title by competing in the lead category as well. Quite a few of them as well. Jörg Verhoeven here to compete. Thomas Tauporn. David Barons on the speed as well. Here we are with our first two already then, starting off with Leonardo Gontero and Denis Rokotiansky. Rotokiansky taking a lead here instead of Gontero, which is surprising. They're not actually racing at this this stage in the competition. They're just trying to put in the best possible time that they can. Each athlete then gets 2 climbs here. 2 attempts to put in the best time. Try and keep those times coming to you as often as I possibly can. As you can see, there's clocks there at the bottom for you to have a look at as well. 7.39 for Leonardo Gontero, and Denis with a time of 6.65, I believe, which means he has the faster time there, but it isn't a race. Remember that one as well. This is just 2 competitors trying to put in the best possible time that they can. Here's Sergei Synutin and Jörg Verhoeven about to come out. Well, they're strangely on the other side than the one that we've got them put in here. Jörg Verhoeven, obviously well known for being on the boulder and lead circuit. Sergei Synutin, a very, very well known speed climber. We saw him just recently in Baku competing there. Here we've got a false start here by the look of things. False starts, if you are new to the sport, if they cause a false start twice in a row, the same athlete causes it twice in a row, that climb for them is disqualified. The other athlete is allowed to try and put in their best time as well. So remember, as we move through this one, although it looks like a race at this stage, it's actually not. They're just trying to put in the best possible time that they can. And the top 16 times go through into the final stage later on this evening, after we've had a bit of paraclimbing later on still to come. So Sergei Synutin over on the left-hand side, Jörg Verhoeven on the right. Sergei Synutin, world ranked 5th, used to putting in times below 7 seconds. Here we are, Jörg slipping there at the very start. Synutin obviously taking the lead as we would expect for the speed-only climber. Time of 7.21. Again, not his fastest time there. Jörg still going here. 12.89. That's not a bad time for climbers that are used to climbing on lead and bouldering mainly. Anywhere between 11 and 13 seconds for the ones that traditionally climb slower on the more difficult routes. This route that we're looking at here then, incline of 5%, 6C roughly in grading, and it never changes as well if you are new to the sport. It is always this route. That's why the speed climbers are so good at doing it. Men's world record at within the 5-second bracket here. Our next two athletes then will be Stefano Gazolfi and Evgeny Wojciechowski. Wojciechowski, another extremely well-known speed climber, world rank number 7. It has been as high as 4th in 2011. He is the current world record holder, worth bearing in mind as well, with 5.88 seconds. And here you can see why. Long controlled movements, easily taking a lead on Stefano Gazolfi, although Gazolfi putting in a good time. 6.11 there for Evgeny. Stefano Gazolfi with 9.31, that is not bad at all for athletes that are used to competing predominantly in lead and bouldering. Wojciechowski, our world record holder, and here's a replay of them and that climb for you. You can see how smooth and how used to the route he is, Evgeny. Long, drawing movements. None of the scarpering scrabble that we'll see from some of the other athletes. Very much used to climbing on the speed wall. The interesting thing I'd like to highlight about this one is it's actually easier to climb this route if you climb fast. Specifically designed for speed, you'd expect it to be. Marcelo Bombardi here with Jakub Kozolowski. Kozolowski taking the lead here. Still relatively slow though for this Polish athlete. Kozolowski still pushing 7.96 seconds. Marcelo Bombardi 11.04. Our next two athletes due to come out will be Johan Locusta and Stanislav Kokorin, the man that I highlighted at the beginning of this competition for the speed here. Kokorin, the world ranked number 1. But for now, here's a replay of that last climb between Kozolowski, you can see there in the red, just falling down in the background. Marcelo Bombardi slipping behind this Polish athlete. Still, not seeing anything that we're not used to here at this stage. Relatively slow climbs for these athletes, for the men's, compared to what we're used to seeing from them. Kokorin, our world ranked number 1 and has been since 2012. Born and lives in Taiwan. Came first at Chongqing 2013 on the speed circuit. Came first again in Baku. He is on top of the table right now and on peak form. Stanislav Kokorin on the right hand side. Johan Locusta on the left. We are away. It looks like a false start there, probably caused by Locusta. It looked like he pulled onto the wall quite quickly before then. Let's have a look at that. Here we are as a replay. That definitely looked like it was Locusta springing off. We're going to have another slow look at that one. Yeah, you can see there the movement away from the mat. There is a mat on the floor that, like motion sensors, turns to the green light when the signal has gone. Well, here we go then. Locusta not looking too bad at all here, but Kokorin pushing up ahead. It isn't a race at this stage, it's just to put in the best time. 6.60 for Stanislav Kokorin. It's not bad as a time. Averaged around 6.20 at Baku as well. Climbed 6.25 in the final, followed by 6.18. So 6 is about the average, but we have seen is 5 seconds and 88 milliseconds from Stanislav Kokorin. Our next athletes then Danilo Boldarev and Quentin Nambot. Boldarev, another one to keep your eye on as we move through this competition. Made it through to the finals. 21-year-old athlete from Donetsk. You can see him there on the right-hand side, Danilo. He shot up from 32nd on the World Cup rankings at the end of 2011, and by the end of 2012 he was 2nd. It's an incredible increase of 29 places in a year, a single year. Danilo Boldarev knocked out 29 other athletes to fly up to 2nd. He's currently world ranked 3rd. Here we are then. Relatively neck and neck here. Boldarev starting to take the lead. Interesting to see a lot of these speed athletes seem quite relaxed. Maybe it's the heat, I'm not sure. But a lot of them were at Baku just recently, so they should be used to this intense heat. It is extremely hot here in Chamonix. There is a breeze going, not too bad if you're outside, but it almost just seems lethargic, this style of climbing that Boldarev going through that one there, flying the feet out to the side, casually pushing himself up to the top. Not much in that one at all. 5.2 to 5.27. Sorry, 6.32 to 6.37. Just making up times. There you are. Our next two athletes then out to join us now. Sergei Luzgetsky and Alexander Shikov. Two athletes from Russia. Russia well known for being the nation that owns the speed climbing agenda. And here you can see why these two athletes neck and neck all the way up here, training predominantly and only in speed. Oh, and a missed button there, unfortunately, for Sergei Luzgetsky. 7.17 for Alexander Shikov. If you remember as well, the other interesting thing about this is Libor Hroza in Baku. We had the world rank number 2 trying to argue the point that he'd hit the button right at the very last. You can see it here in this young athlete from Russia. Sergei Luzgetsky now on the right hand side here as he pushes up. Looks like the clock just didn't stop. Libor Hroza missing out on a place and an opportunity of moving forward in the final in Baku due to that. Due to the fact that it wasn't a firm enough push on the button, according to the judges that were with us there as well. They were watching the replay that we provided them very closely for some time there. Thomas Taupon and David Barons then. How unusual to see two athletes that are mainly boulder and lead orientated climbing side by side at a speed event. Interesting enough to see one athlete from the other disciplines next to a speed climber, but here we have two next to each other. Thomas Taupon from Germany, Dave Barons from GBR. And you can see the difference as well. Both of these athletes are fantastic lead and boulder climbers, but here you can see the difference between the Russians. Thomas Taupon, 10.48 seconds. David Barons here with 15.90. It is still 15 meters high in 10.48 seconds. It's not half bad. Alessandro Santoni out next for Italy against Stanislao Zama. Nice close-up shot there of Christophe, the French commentator. He's not commentating for this one, so unfortunately, guys, you're stuck with me through these speed qualification rounds. Santoni there, 7.22 seconds. Zama at 7.46. Our next two athletes, Guillaume Moreau against Nikita Shayushkin. Both athletes were out at Baku. Just recently, Guillaume Moreau making it through into the final, putting a time in the first round, Moreau, of 6.99 seconds. So let's see how he gets on here. Soyushkin not making it into the final 16 in Baku, so let's see how he gets on as well. We'd expect him to go through, being from that Russian team. Sergei Abdrakhmanov is the current reigning champion in speed of the European Championships. But Evgeny Wojciechowski has also taken that gold twice before. It's going to be a false start there. Looking like it was caused by Guillaume Moreau. Let's have a look at that again. I know it's looking like we're going to get ready to go again with these athletes relatively quickly, so we'll stick with them. We're off again then. You can see the speed here with Morrow. The difference between the last climber. A slip there, but he's managed to hold on. 6.81 from Nikita Soyushkin. It looks like 8 on the nail. Morrow. Here is that replay. Surprising not to see Soyushkin in the final in Baku. The first, the highest rating is 16 to make it through. Fast times, one of the fastest so far that we've seen today. Our next two athletes then, Dmitry Sharafutinov up against Jan Kriz. Dimitri's Russian, so by all accounts he should just do this in seconds. Now let's wait and see what happens. Yes, this is not bad at all for Dimitri, considering he specialises in bouldering. 7.51. I am surprised and impressed by that, definitely. Not too good on the lead earlier yesterday for the men's. Made it through to the semi-finals, but only just. Dmitry Sharafutinov of Russia can speed climb. Maybe it's a genetic thing, I don't know. All Russians are able to move fast up vertical distances. That's a fantastic time there. Our next two already out, Lucas Sverk and Marcin Dziecięcki, both athletes very well known on the speed circuit. Both athletes making it through to the top 16 in Baku just recently. Sverk, fastest time over in Baku that he put in was 6.80. Marcin Dziecięcki was faster, despite getting knocked out by Kokorin in the first round there. He put in the time of 6.65. So Dziecięcki should actually be the one to put in the faster time here. We'll see what happens. Swerk back on the ground. Swerk's world ranked 13th, Lucas Swerk. Dziecięcki world ranked 16th, despite climbing faster in Baku just recently. 27 years old from Wadowice. Looking for the best time out of the two climbs here. And that time it was Lucas Swerk by the look of things. That's both of them with a false start so far. And there you can see, well ahead. Lucas is about to start. And guys, as always, if you want to get in touch with us, you can get onto Twitter and use hashtag IFSCWC. Send in your thoughts. If you want to get involved in the chat. Looks like we're having a bit of a discussion here between the judges and what Lucas Sverk is thinking about what happened just. So, a couple of moments, hopefully be able to carry on with the qualifying rounds.
Go, 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 shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip a party like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a fuck, it's not your birthday. You'll find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the X, I'm getting into taking drugs. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, get into getting rough. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the X, I'm getting into taking drugs. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, get into getting rough. When I pull up out front, you see the Benz on dub. When I roll 20 deep, it's 29s in the club. Niggas heard I fuck with Dre, now they wanna show me love.
Just waiting to find out what exactly is going on with this one. Lucas obviously having an issue. He's down there on the ground. You can see him walking around next to the judges. Maybe an issue with the mat. In a few moments' time, we'll be ready to go yet again. Let me know as well if you're hanging around for the paraclimbing later on. I'd love to have some of you guys join us for that one. Incredible side to the climbing as well.
money on my mind, got a meal out the deal, and I'm still in the grind. Now shorty says,
Oh, you can see the small crowd gathered for the lead for the speed qualifications here in Chamonix. Bank of cloud rolling in now as well, cutting off our view of Mont Blanc.
I'm in the having sex, I ain't into making love, so come give me a hug. If you're into getting rough, you can find me in the club.
Question to you guys joining us as well now. If one of the athletes that specialises in the other disciplines, as in the ones that we're used to seeing on the lead and bouldering circuit, if you think one of them is going to make it through into the top 16, who do you think it might be? If one was to make it through into the top 16 here, to get through into the final, who do you think it might be? I mean, after that display just from Dmitry Sharafutinov, I'm kind of turning my money towards him at the moment. We've still got Jakob Schubert to come out yet. Those are the guys that are gunning for the overall championship title as well. They're climbing lead as well as the speed. We did have some mainly speed climbers also trying to compete in the lead climbing earlier.
Come give me a hug, you're in the getting rough. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bug. Look, mommy, I got the X, if you're in the taking drugs. I'm in the having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, you're in the getting rough. Don't try to act like you don't know where we be, nigga. We in the club all the time, nigga. Some problem pop up, nigga.
Looking like some sort of argument happening at the bottom here. Athletes at the bottom of the wall running through the climb mine that they're going to apply to this speed route. They're not actually flattening out an invisible air pizza. Not long now, we'll be ready to go again. Somebody's finding out for me exactly what's happening over at the bottom of the wall. That was Vincent going over there to just have a word, trying to speed this up, please. It looks like Lucas Verk is leaving now, which means his first climb, by the looks of things, has been disqualified. We're left with Marcin Dziecięcki for his first climb. .59 for Marcin Dziecięcki. Not a bad time at all. We move on then to our next athletes, Dmitry Timoviv and Marco Antonio Yubzangarita. Timoviv, world rank number 11. 20 years old, born and lives in Ekaterinburg. Timoviv came 4th at Baku just recently, 7th at Chongqing. Also took bronze at the World Championships in Paris in 2012. And that was after coming 21st at Chamonix here last year. Another athlete that increased his standing over the course of a year. Timoviv on the right, Angarita on the left. Timoviv leaving Yubzangarita for dust here. Flying, and a stall at the very end. He's going to be annoyed about that one. It wasn't a race, of course, between Marco and himself. But he wanted to put in the best time, and he slipped right at the last, giving him a time of around 8 seconds, which is not good enough. He's going to need that second climb. It's looking like he's blaming the V layers there for getting tangled up a little bit. Our next two athletes out now then, Andriy Aiteko in Ukraine up against Vladimir Zinchenko. Two Ukrainian athletes climbing side by side. Ukraine, another country with a reputation of producing some good some speed climbers. Danilo Boldyrev is from the Ukraine. A slip there, lower down for Aiteko. Timothy with a time of 7.17. Our next two athletes will be Alexei Yurko up against Ruslan Faizulin. Faizulin, the Russian athlete here. Alexei Yurko, the athlete from the Ukraine. False start there, probably caused by Yurko by the look of things. We wait now before our athletes are allowed to go back to the wall. After this, the first fault. Remember as well, guys, that this is not an official speed wall, so no world records can be set here, unfortunately. Another false start there, looked by the same one. The same athlete, Faizulin. Oh no, actually, sorry, Alexei Yurko. So Yurko should now boycott his first climb, and it should be Faizulin that is allowed to carry on, by the look of things. So Yurko steps down. He gets another chance later on to come back. He's going to have to put in a good time on his second climb. Later on he's on up against Ludovico Fasali. But for now, here's Ruslan Faizulin with his own false start, unfortunately. Here we go again. No false start this time, but it was nice and quick off the mat. Still going to be quick. 7.02, not bad for Ruslan as he finishes his first climb. As I said before, what these athletes tend to do is try and push to put in the fastest possible climb they can, even though it's risky for slipping, falling, or starting too soon. They try and put the fastest one in first and then use the second climb to put in a solid time, a slower time. Either that or they push the other way round. So they put in a nice slow climb on the first one, or a slower climb for them, one that is safe but still at a good time, to give them one overall good time, and then push on the other route. Try and climb a little bit more risque. Our next two athletes out then are Bassa Mawam for France. He's on the right hand side here, and up against him is Ludovico Fasali. Fasali on the left. A false start here, looking like it was caused by Ludovico Fasali. We saw Bassa Mawam in the final in Baku as well. He's world ranked 17th. Was 16th at the end of last year at the age of 28 from Nancy. A slip there from Bassa. We've seen a lot of those here today. 7.89 against 8.35. Both of those climbs relatively slow in the world of speed climbing. Bassa now is going to need to really push for a faster time on his second climb if he wants to make it through into the top 16. Arseny Shevchenko now against Jerzy Komarzyński, both very well-known speed climbers as well. Komarzyński was in the final in Baku. Here he is now on the right-hand side here. He's well-ranked 12th, and there he is with a time of 7.04. 6.92 from Shevchenko, though. At Baku. Gontarek now then up for the Ukraine on the left-hand side here for you. Gontarek came second at Baku just recently. He's up against Vanko Naunov of Macedonia. Slip there from Naunov at the very beginning. Gontarek flying up this wall now. 6.61. It's fast. Our next athlete out will be Jakob Schubert against Armin Terminason. And there's only a couple more after that before the athletes start their second climb. It's the thing about speed climbing, it does move a little bit quicker than some of the other qualifications of lead and bouldering. But then we also have the women's speed qualification still to come for you a little bit later on today as well. Armin Terminason on the left-hand side and Jakob Schubert on the right. Can he put in a time to challenge Dmitry Sharafutinov. I believe it was around 7.21 something, I think, for Dmitry Sharafutinov earlier. It was very, very quick. Here we go, our world champion in lead climbing, attempting the speed here. It's going to be a lot slower than we saw from Dmitry Sharafutinov. Terminason with a time of 8.28. Even Armin Terminason there was slower than Dmitry Sharafutinov. 11.41 for Jakob Schubert. Still in that short amount of time. Karol Dennis of Poland next, up against Libor Hroza, world rank number 2. Hroza, 26 years old, came second at Chongqing earlier this year. Is in the final in Baku, but had that controversial time where he was not allowed to carry on competing due to not putting in a positive push. You can see him there, is the Titan on the left-hand side. Karol Dennis from Poland coming out now as well. Hroza first at the Rockmaster 2010 and at Chamonix 2010, but those were his last gold medals. His last gold medal 3 years ago. Hungry to get back at them. And here you go, you can see power in Hroza is getting up on this one, 6.39 seconds. He's not happy with it though. Not happy at all. 6.39 seconds. 6.36 at the Baku qualifications. Still very, very fast. Our next set of athletes then will be Denis Jansky, same guy that started us off earlier, here with his second climb, up against Sirotti, Gianluca Sirotti. Rakotiansky on the right, Sirotti on the left. And we are away. It looks like a full start here from Sirotti. So we start again, 2 athletes lower down. Back to their start positions. That's 1 for Sirotti, 2 first are out. Here we are again, Rakotiansky trying to take a lead there, but it's going to be Sirotti by the looks of things. Nope, a comeback here from Rakotiansky. 7.65, not a bad time at all. Will it be enough? Those are both of his climbs completed. Can he make it through into that all-important 16 places in the finals later on this evening? Our next 2 athletes out then will be Sergei Leonardo Gontero. Leonardo, the man who took the bronze medal at Baku just recently. Sinitsyn, the world rank number 5. Gontero, the world rank number 10. But Gontero is definitely on the way up. He's putting in an improvement this year so far. Sinitsyn, 30 years old, one of the older climbers. First at Milano 2011, that was his last gold. And here we go, will it be Gontero or Sinitsyn putting in the faster time here? You can see the improvement in Gontero here, a slip at the very last. What a shame. 7.15, though I believe his first time was quicker than that. Hopefully that is enough to see Gontero through into the top 16. Sergei Sinitsyn there with a time of 7.20 on the nail. Our next two are Stefano Ghisolfi and Jörg Verhoeven. Two lead climbers out to try some speed. No false start from the lead climbers here then. Ghisolfi putting on a good show here. 8.53. Jörg with 12.31. I don't know whether it's going to be enough Jörg to get through. Evgeny Wojciechowski out next. Previous European champion, Evgeny Wojciechowski, held the title for 2 years. Can he take back his previously owned title against Marcelo Bombardi here? I keep saying against, it's so easy to see it as a race at the qualification stage. Remember, I have to keep telling you guys just as much as I'm telling myself to remind myself on that one. This is the fastest time. This is not a race between the two athletes on either side of the wall. It becomes a race as we go towards the final. It's a knockout round with our 16th athletes. But here it's just the fastest time. Wojciechowski here is going to put in a good one as well. 6.42, not bad. Bombardi still pushing 11.90 for him. Jan de Kuster next up against Jakub Kozlowski. And Le Kuster. A good time there for the Kuster, 6.42 against 7.83. Slowski, 6.42, not bad at all. We should see the Kuster going through. It's our world rank number 1 next. Stanislav Kokorin up against Quentin Nambov of France. Stanislav Kokorin of Russia. Came second at the World Youth Championships in Singapore. I do apologise, I'm talking about Timofeev. Wrong guy. Let's go back to Kokorin, shall we? Made it through to at least the small finals 4 times last year. Took gold twice, Kokorin. Of his 12 best results, not one of them is lower than 5th. Stanislav Kokorin, the world ranked #1, putting in a time there of 6.86 seconds. And looking like a sure run into the 16th place finals for him. Daniil Boldarev, Alexander Shikov. And a false start here, Boldarev powering into the lead. 6.37, that was fast. 7.10 for Shikov. Time of 7.06 there. Will it be enough to see him through into the top 16? David Barons and Stanislav Zama out next to climb. Here we are, Stanislav Zama. Stall there, Dave Barron's trying. Zama climbing in spurts. You can see the amount of slips that he's had. That's 3 or 4 there in that one run, giving him a time of 12.40. Dave Barron's with 15.52. Looking like neither of these athletes are going to be making it through to the top 16. I do think that Dmitry Sharafutdinov has a possibility of making it through. He's put in a faster climb than 7.2, whatever it was earlier. Interesting to see a man whose main discipline, the world ranked #1 as well in bouldering, Dmitry Sharafutdinov, coming to the European Championships for lead and speed. Nikita Shayushkin and Alessandro Santoni now out for us. Try and put in their second time, their best time, make it through into those top 16. Here we go, Shayushkin is going to put in a good time here. I think it's a little bit of a stall there a few moments ago. Not a slip, but a stall, but he's still put in a 6.55. And it's looking like Santoni has actually missed the burn at the top. And you can see it again in a replay then. Tryushkin on the right hand side. A brief moment where he pauses on this jump over to the left hand side. Then again, even in the replay you can see there how brief that was. Didn't have to stop climbing at all. As he jumped to the left a few moments ago. Settled his feet. Guillaume Moreau on the left. Jan Kriz on the right. Moreau's best result was a gold at the male youth A speed category at the European Youth Cup in Friedrichshafen in 2011. His best in the seniors is 20th here in Chamonix, 2012. So he's already bettered. What he was used to putting in. Jan Kriz has slipped there for a moment. He's going to regain it again now by the look of things, but Guillaume Moreau, and he's missed the button, and he's going to be cursing himself for that one. After making it through to the finals in Baku, can he rely on just the one climb earlier today to see him through to the finals here? That's all he's relying on now, the one climb. That's when Jan Kriz had a bit of a stall earlier on. And we're back with Dmitry Sharafutinov up against Lucas Swerk. Now, Swerk made it through into the final in Baku, putting a time in the first final round of 6.80. Swerk did. Swerk is world rank number 13. Dmitry Sharafutinov, world rank number 1 in bouldering. If Swerk can put in a good time and Dmitry can meet it. Oh, it looks like Swerk's pulled out here. Dmitry's stalling now on this one. And he's fell. He's going to be relying on those 7 seconds that he managed to put in earlier. A bit of a rougher climb for him on that one there. It's still incredible to see a boulderer climbing like this. Swerk dropped out, or what's happened to him there due to the incident that happened a little bit earlier. Marcin Zienski now up against Marco Antonio Yusangarita of Spain. It's looking like we've lost Lucas Swerk. What a shame. Go. Zienski firing into the lead here. So we'll expect the world ranked 16th athlete in speed climbing to do so. 6.45 seconds there. Marcin Zienski came 4th at Chongqing this year. One of his best results. His first at the male junior speed European Youth Cup in Arno, his home turf in 2011. He also came 10th here in Chamonix in 2012. Can Zienski make it through to 16 here? 6.45 seconds would say yes. Dmitry Timofeev next up with Vladimir Zinchenko of the Ukraine for their second climb. Timofeev came fourth at Baku. Zinchenko, Ukraine. Timofeev slipping there. Zinchenko's going to put in a good time though. No, he's missed the button. He's missed the button. So Timofeev is relying on 7.58 on his second climb. Zinchenko, despite putting in what looked like a faster climb then, has actually missed the button at the top there. Getting a replay for you. See a stall there from the Russian. Athlete from the Ukraine powering ahead. Slip. The Russian gets it. Moving away. The Ukrainian athlete then didn't actually manage to tap the button. Andriy Kanteyko, Ukraine, on the left, and Ruslan Faisalin on the right. It's looking like it's Faisalin. He's going to put in the faster time here, but no, I think I've jinxed him. He stalled there at the very last. Kanteyko, 7.26 seconds. Will it be enough? Now for Alexei Yurko to come out and join us. Ludovico's already out there. Ludovico Fasali. Still waiting for our Ukrainian athlete. But it's looking like it's going to be a single climb there for our Italian. Fasali, the 16-year-old from Trento. Here he is now. It is Alexei Yurko not climbing it apparently here. 8.41 from Fasali. Best result is first place at the male Youth B Speed European Youth Cup in Kiev in Italy in 2012. So our next two athletes are about to come out then. We will be joined yet again by Bassem Mawam and Arseny Shevchenko. Shevchenko, the 23-year-old athlete from Kazakhstan, currently living in Ekaterinburg. You can see him on the right-hand side of your screen now, just getting clipped in. Bassem Mawam next to him. Mawam, the world rank number 17. Shevchenko, the world rank number 8. So bets right now should be on Shevchenko to put in the faster time here. But let's see. Arseny came second at Mokpo last year. It's looking like Bassem Mawam's going to put in the faster time as well. And it is. Bassem Mawam, 6.42. That was a good climb there for him. After not such a great start earlier on. And that should see him through. Here it is in replay. Yaroslav Gontarek and Jerzy Komozinski out next for us here. It's going to be Gontarek. 6.43. I get 6.82 from Komazinski, the 25-year-old athlete from Glogo. World ranked 11th, Komazinski. Got Tarek, world ranked 4th. Armen Terminason up against Vanko Naunov out next. He lives in Moscow. Was 9th at the World Championships in Paris in 2012. And next to him is our Macedonian athlete, Vanko Naunov. Mason putting in a good run here. He came 3rd at the Male Junior Speed World Youth Championship in Edinburgh in 2010, but he also competes in lead and also in a bit of bouldering as well. And just generally an all-round very impressive climber from his results on the Male Juniors lead and speed feedback. In terms of the senior IFSC World Cup level, on the Men Leads Climbing World Cup in Imps in 2012, he came 13th, and as I said a few moments ago, in the bouldering at Paris, he came 9th. Next up then, two new athletes, Libor Hroza here now for us, up against Jakob Schubert. You're looking at the world the world champion for lead climbing, up against the world number 2 for speed climbing. Interesting draw. Athletes taking their starting positions. And here we go, Hroza in 3 moves. Already flying ahead here of Jakob Schubert. 6.22. He's a little bit happier about that one. Jakob Schubert with a time of 10.88. Still not half bad for our world ranked number 1 lead climber. One more to go then before we finish with the men's. It is Karol Dennis up against Gianluca Sirotti. Polish athlete up against the Italian athletes. As a replay, you can see how Libor Hroza flew up that wall then. Looking at the clock and clapping straight away. It felt good, it must have. Got that time of 6.22 seconds. That's going to be enough. We want to see our world rank number 2 in the top 16 that make it through at the European Championships here. Here are our last 2 climbers in the men's then, before we are given some form of results of who is going to be those top 16. Karol Dennis on the left and Gianluca Sirotti on the right. Neck and neck here. And a slip from Dennis. 8.05 from Gianluca Sirotti and 9.29 from Karol Dennis. That is it for the men's qualifications, ladies and gents. Don't go anywhere. We'll be with you for the women's qualifications, I imagine, extremely shortly. They usually push straight on. So in a few seconds, we'll have the women's. And we're about to start over here.
Some action, but like Big Jagger said, I can't get no satisfaction. The girls are all around, well, none of them want to get with me. My threads are fresh and I'm looking deaf. Yo, what's up, what LOC? The girls is all jocking, At the other end of the bar, having drinks with some no-name chump when they know that I'm the star. So I got up and strolled over to the other side of the cantina. I asked the guy, why you so fly? He said, funky cold Medina. Get more chicks, put a little Medina in your glass, and the girls will come real quick. It's better than any alcohol or aphrodisiac. A couple of sips of this love potion and she'll be on your lap. So I gave some to my dog when he began to beg, and then he licked his bowl and he looked at me and did a wild thing on my leg. He used to scratch and bite me before he was much, much meaner. But now all the poodles run to my house for the funky cold Medina. You know what I'm saying? I got every dog in my neighborhood breaking down my door. I got Spuds from Kinsey, Alex from Strohs. They won't leave my dog alone with that Medina family. I went out to this girl. She said, hi, my name is Sheena. I thought she'd be good to go with a little funky cold Medina. She said, I'd like a drink. I said, okay, I'll go get it. And then a couple of sips, she gon' lick the lips, and I knew that she was with it. So I took her to my crib, and everything went well as planned. But when she got undressed, it was a big old mess. Sheena was a man. So I threw her out. I don't fool around with no Oscar Mayer wiener. You must be sure that the girl is pure for the funky cold Medina. You know, ain't no plans with a man. It's the 80s and I'm down with the ladies, you know. Break it down.
Not long now before we start with the women's qualifications. Several athletes coming to have a go at this as well, also from the lead climbers. Cécile Avezou, Richard Klingler walking around at the back here. Katharina Sauerwein, Katharina Posch. Jenny Levada also competing in this one for the overall title. Hope those clouds stay off as we move towards the paraclimbing finals as well. We are starting to gather a bit of cloud around the mountains here. Looks innocent enough. The weather can turn very quickly here. We saw that on our first day here. We had a storm. For those of you just joining us, don't worry, you're not missing anything, because you can see here on the screen we're just waiting for the turnaround. Now that the male's qualification has finished, we're waiting for the female qualification to start. Just a few moments now, we'll be getting ready to go. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so on Twitter by using the hashtag IFSCWC.
C'est lui qui ira le plus haut pendant l'escalade classique. Donc ne ratez pas ça, ça sera à 19h30 et à 21h, les finales et dénouements de la vitesse. Alors au niveau d'animation, on va y aller avec les handis, naturellement, comme avec les nains normalistes, c'est leur choix. Ils n'aiment pas qu'on prenne des points, ils ne veulent pas qu'on prenne des passes, ils veulent qu'on soit sur le même pied. Et nous on comprend, mais j'espère que vous aussi dans le public vous le comprendrez. On va pas nous raconter les types de histoires, les petites directions de merci, mais il y avait quand même de superbes petites histoires assez drôles à raconter. Il y avait un des grimpeurs non-voyants autrichien qui a raconté son t-shirt jusqu'aux épaules et qui racontait à des grimpeurs valides d'Autriche. C'est dommage, il y en a pas un qui était capable de le voir, mais pour le coup, quand même, il m'a impressionné, donc voilà. C'est ce genre d'histoire qu'on entend raconter au milieu du sport en vie. Et vous allez découvrir toutes les énergies ce soir. Là derrière nous, assis par terre, il y a l'équipe espagnole qui est derrière les barrières. Et là, il y en a un qui a une chambre en moins et lui, il est incroyable. Il va vous faire bleu, il va vous bluffer ce soir. Alors par contre, vous venez tout de suite, vous aurez la larme à l'œil. Venez ce soir, on a vu pleurer 10 fois à Bercy. On espère vous pleurer autant ce soir. Et je pense que vous en parlerez encore demain. Et surtout, on a notre antenne, je crois que tous les Français sont rentrés presque au final en ville. On n'a pas les finales avec énormément de grimpeurs, on prend 3 grimpeurs par catégorie. Et d'ailleurs, avant de commencer les finales, je demandais à Roxane, qui est l'équipe de France, qui a bien avec moi, Roxane, qui présentera. Elle avait donné le plan à Bercy, elle avait expliqué un petit peu ce qu'elle allait passer. Il y aura Sébastien aussi en fait dans l'équipe de France. Je suis pas très micro-aussi pour qu'il nous explique un petit peu les différences pour qu'on comprenne bien la compétition et ensuite tout le monde sera piqué. Allez, on y va pour les filles. Let's go. Starting for the ladies. Mister Massa, congratulations. Massa, 3e chrono. Félicitations, Gordon en haut, je vois pas pas 16e et Yoann de Bousquet doit être 12e, j'espère aussi. Ah, elles sont contentes de ça. On va encore là, j'en mange la barrière. Et le 12e, c'est Quentin. Ah, et je crois que c'est pas sorti. Et Yoann de Bousquet, 13e. Et Guy est pour machin. Et c'est la fois que ça va passer le jour. Faut pas se prendre la tête. C'est pas...
This is that original. This has no identical. You can't hack my digital. Future aboriginal. Get up off my genitals. I stay on that pinnacle. Kill you with my lyricals. Call me verbal criminal. Send you to that clinical. Subscribe you some chemicals. Audio and visual. Can't see me. Invisible. I'm old school like biblical. Futuristic next level. Never on that typical. Will I stop on that?
Here are our two first female speed athletes then. Sorry about the wait, waiting for that little turnaround, waiting for the organisation to sort everything out. This is Anastasia Shimkova on the left-hand side up against Xenia Polakina. Polakina on the right, Shimkova on the left. Polakina, the 23-year-old athlete from Krasnoyarsk, world ranked 12th. No false start from her then, that was coming from Anastasia Shimkova. Polakina finished up the 2012 season on the World Cups in 10th place. Fantastic results in Zinning, coming 6th there. She came 4th at the World Championships in Paris 2012, 4th at Arco 2012 as well, and also 4th at Chongqing 2012. So well within her reach, this 16th place final. Shimkova falling behind here. New world record there, remember, as well for this one was happened in Baku just recently. That was 8.05 seconds, and that goes to Yulia Kaplina, who is here as well and will be climbing in a couple of climbs' time. 9.40 Polakina on that one, 11.11 for Anastasia Shimkova. Our next two athletes will be Yulia Lebochkina and Anastasia Savisko, both well-known speed climbers. Remember as well, Yulia Lebochkina used to hold the world record, and she did it here at Chamonix, and she did it twice, I think 3 times altogether, and still came 4th overall. Didn't actually take home a medal for breaking the world record here, Yulia Lebochkina. Her records have been broken a few times since then. It now lies at 8.05 seconds with Yulia Kaplina. But as I mentioned with the men's earlier as well, there are no world records to be had here, as the wall is not an official speed wall. You can see that line on the right-hand side here. If you look at where the dots are, you can see a slight drop on the ones on the right compared to the ones on the left. The wall has not been constructed perfect enough to make it a world record setting wall. 9.70 for Yulia Lebochkina, and a miss there for Savisko, unfortunately. Anna Shervina for the Ukraine up next against Yena Shervina. Cheryshneva, 24-year-old athlete, also from Krasnoyarsk, currently living in Moscow. She does boulder, lead, and she's here to do best result for her on the lead circuit came at Kran in 2011, but also here in Chamonix in 2009, 2 bronze medals. That was in lead climbing though for Cheryshneva. Next to her, Anna Sherbina. Here we are getting ready now then. Here we are. Maybe it isn't in the blood of all the Russians. Anna Cheryshneva. Not too fast here. Anna Sherbina, 11.94. Cheryshneva, 14.95. Despite being a very talented lead climber. I think he specialises in multiple disciplines. It'll be very tough. Margot Heitz against Maria Krasavina. A false start here for Margot Heitz. Krasavina back down on the ground. Margot Heitz, 21-year-old athlete, world ranked 14th. Came first at the Female Junior Speed European Youth Cup in Friedrichshafen in Germany, 2011. See her tucking the belay device underneath an arm instead of having it in front of her like you can see Margot Heitz doing there. Krasavina, time of 8.67. I don't know whether that's giving her a bit of extra room to move with the front of her arms or not. Yulia Kaplina, the current world record holder for Russia, out now on the left-hand side. Next to her, Alexandra Elmer of Austria. Looks like nobody for a moment there told Kaplina to step away from the wall. Alexandra Elmer just moving around doing her own thing. Kaplina there, ready, poised. Jakob Schubert popped in a few moments ago, was talking about this comp, just came around to say hello. He was saying how tense it is at the bottom of the wall waiting for that beep to go, to allow you to start climbing, pressure that builds. Waiting for these guys to kick off now. Just a few moments time, they're going to be back on the wall getting ready to go. Julia Kaplina, that world record, 8.05 seconds. Alexandra Elmer. World rank 21st, Alexandra Elmer, 17 years old, from Stulfelden. Best at a senior level was 15th at Chamonix 2012. A false start there by Alexandra Elmer. Another false start by Alexandra Elmer, meaning that I think Julia Kaplina will be allowed to climb. But that's it for our Austrian climber on this one. She'll have a second climb later on, providing the same thing doesn't happen again. Julia Kaplina. I've been told by Mr. Graham Alderson that actually the way that it's working this year, a new rule that's been introduced, is that actually if you have 2 false starts, that's it. You're out of the competition. Not just your first climb, you are disqualified from the competition, which is probably how we lost Lucas Sverk earlier on. And it's how we've just lost Alexandra Elmer. Here's Julia Kaplina. A slip right towards the end, but that would have been fast before then as well. Unfortunately, that slip seems to have cost her a better time. Remember that this lady can climb a whole second and more faster than the one she just put in. She'll have another climb later on though. You can see her come back out, try and push to improve on her world record time. No world records set, remember. This is not an official wall, but still want to put in the best time possible. Anna Saigonova up against Anuk Jalbert next out. Anna Saigonova, Anuk Jalbert. There we are, both these climbers used to climbing on speed. Here they are putting in the fastest time that they possibly can. Anuk Jalbert, world rank 10th. Time of 8.77 there. Anna Saigonova of Russia. A time of 9.19. Our next 2 athletes. Alexandra Rudzinska up against Monika Prokopiuk. Rudzinska came 3rd at Baku just recently. America, world ranked 5th. But our current World Cup ranking. First, Chamonix, after Chongqing. Slipped there at the start though, unfortunately. Prokopiev with a time of 10.30. Our next two athletes will be Stephanie Pichler up against Cécile Lavezou. Lavezou, well-known lead climber, we'll be seeing her out next. One of the older female athletes as well. She's 41 years old. World ranked 59th. A keen boulderer as well. Paris 2012. There she is. Stephanie Pichler, a well-known speed climber. She was at Baku just recently for Austria. Pichler taking the lead. Lavezou going for this one. Round of applause from the French crowd down on the ground. 9.97 for Stephanie Pichler. Oh, and a miss, unfortunately, from Cécile Lavezou. It was around 12 seconds, but she didn't quite get a hand to the button. Not enough strong contact on that. Next up's Mina Markovic against Claudia Buczek. Mina Markovic up against Claudia Buczek. Buczek world ranked 11th in speed. Claudia Buczek, Mina Markovic. Mina Markovic, who climbs mainly lead, but also started to do a bit of bouldering as well. Trains only on a bouldering wall, would not really have access to a speed wall at all. Buksek putting in a time of 9.27. Mina Markovic, 19.07. Considering she doesn't have access to any sort of facility to climb this way, that's not bad at all. Buksek though, 9.27. Obviously one of the ones with the high chance of getting through the top 16. And next two athletes out will be Petra Klingler and Katja Sarvine. So we're about to see two athletes specialise in lead and bouldering as opposed to speed. I'm going to pose the same question to you guys if you are joining us. If you think any of the climbers are going to make it through into the final 16, if you could say that one of them could make it through, who do you think it might be out of the female climbers that are used to climbing in lead only or lead and bouldering, or even in Cecile Avazu's case, predominantly just bouldering? An estimate for, if you could say one, who do you think could make it through? Katja Sarvine, Petra Klingler. It's not bad from Petra Klingler. A little bit of a pause there. 12.22, which I believe was better than Jakob Schubert's speed climb earlier today.
Aussi un défi pour le combiner avec
Chiara Rogora of Italy up against Rebecca Stotz of Switzerland. Stotz on the left, Rogora on the right. 11.74, she's not looking very happy with that one at all. Rebecca Stotz. Back down on the ground now as well. That's Katarina Posch on the left-hand side, Martina Zanetti on the right-hand side. At 12th matching here. Out of a total of 38. Marina Zanetti, not too bad here on a speed climb. Katarina Posch, used to climbing lead and bouldering, but not so much for the speed. 15.12 against 13.47. 13.47 for Martina Zanetti. Still, possibly not good enough to make it through into the top 16. Our next two will be Natalia and Dinara, both of Russia. Aqualiva on the left, Nova on the right. I've been told to expect a possible quick climb here from Dinara Fakhrudinova. Let's see how she gets on. Not bad at all. This is quite good movement now. Looking like it's going to be Iacoliva though. 10.49 against 12.07. Natalia Iacoliva has to climb here. Our next two athletes, Barbara Bacher and Nina Latch. Barbara Bacher, 30 years old, from Langenfeld. Called down. False start from Nina Latch. That's putting the pressure back on now. One more of those, and you're disqualified.
Ready? Oh, good job! 20 seconds.
Patricia Chudziak against Federica Mingola. Mingola, who climbed earlier today in the lead. Qualification round. 18 years old from Torino. World Cup ranked 41st at the end of 2011. Jenny Levada against Alina Gaidamakina. Gaidamakina, world rank number 2 in speed climbing. Let's see who puts in the faster climb here. There you have it, still with a relatively slow climb here, Gaidamakina. 11.52, not fast for her at all. At least 2 seconds slower than what she's normally used to putting in. Our next climbers will be Teresa Galucci up against Ilaria Pitotti. Here for them. 12.74 for Teresa Gallucci up against 13.65 from Ilaria Gordotti. It's looking like neither of those athletes should be making it through, based on some of the other speed athletes that we have here. Our next two athletes will be Margarita Zakharova up against Andrea Ebner. Margarita Ukraine, Andrea Ebner from Italy. Again, 14.33 against 15.44. Still not fast enough to make it through into the 16 based on what we've seen so far today from some of the other climbers. Ala Mariench up against Eileen Uzangarita next. Eileen from Spain and Ala Mariench from the Ukraine. Not bad yet, Eileen Uzangarita. 10.26, but Ala Mariench with 9.84, putting in one of the better times that we've seen today. And that marks the halfway point. Our athletes are now starting to come out yet again. We have Xenia Polakina up against Anastasia Shimkova. Once more, that pair comes out to climb on the other side of the wall. The second climb of the day. Approaching their starting places. 1 foot on the mat. Here we are. False start there from Shimkova. Here's the replay of it. You see she moves first. Called down for that one now. Both allowed to move back towards the wall, which shows us that Shimkova hasn't caused a false start yet in this competition. Now asked to step away from the wall. Do apologise, that's Yulia Levchkina on the right hand side there, up against Xenia Polakina. That might be due to a disqualification of Shimkova earlier on. But that's definitely Yulia Levchkina now on the right hand side. previous world record holder. .879 from Levachkina, 8.83 from Savisko. Still both good enough to get them through to those top 16. Slip there from Savisko. It looked like she actually got stuck for a moment as well. Shabina flying away. And she's missed the button, unfortunately. No time there for her. Savisko with 14.85. Not good. And there you can see the reaction from her. Looks rather upset at that one. That's Jana Scherer-Schneever out next. Number 3 on the left-hand side, and with her will be Maria Krasavina, number 23. Krasavina here. A good time. Yes, 8.67. Very nice. The jump at the end. Jana Scherer-Schneever, 13.87. Not bad either. Ball start from Margot Heiss there.
Ready? Start. Action mark. Ready? No, it was okay. It was okay. It was a good start.
There's going to be, I think, some sort of discussion about this, but there's not really anything they can do. It's looking like our world record holder is about to be eliminated from the competition for 2 false starts. She's looking like she's about to start herself getting ready to go again, but she's just done 2. Not sure what's happening here with this one.
Ready?
It's looking like she is going to get started again. Maybe that was a technical incident with the mat. Not entirely sure. Julia Kaplina putting a time of 9.01. It will be fast enough to see her through into the top 16 unless there has been an incident. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. 2 false starts should get you eliminated from the competition. Let's wait and see what happens. Maybe that was a technical fault by the guys here. Our next 2 athletes out then will be Alexandra Elmer, number 5 on the right, against Anuk Jalbert, number 25 on the left. Fall there. It's Anuk Jalbert that makes it to the top in 8.75 seconds. Mr. Graham Alderson here to explain exactly what happened just with Julia Kaplina.
Well, because the athlete that Julia was racing against had double false started, she was eliminated. So Julia was climbing on her own. Julia then false started, but the way the timers work, you have to have somebody standing on the other pad. And so the belay was standing on the pad, and unbelievably, the belay false started. So what we all thought was the second false start from Julia was actually a false start from the belay, who of course wasn't in the picture. It's the first time I've ever heard of a belay false starting, and I hope it's the last.
Thank you for that, Graham. Interesting. So, it wasn't Julia Kaplina that did that one. It was the B-layer, the Trixie B-layer. Ina Ivana Saigonova against Monika Prokopiuk. 2 athletes that we should see through to the finals later on. 8.69 from Saigonova. And a miss from Prokopiuk, unfortunately. So she'll be relying on her first time earlier today. Here is in replay. Here are our next 2 athletes. Schler up against Alexandra Rudzinska. A clean start is what we like to see. And quite fast as well. It's looking like Rudzinska's going to be putting in the best time here between the two of them. World ranked 5th, Rudzinska 8.44. Fantastic time. I believe the fastest we've seen here today. Rudzinska, Alexandra Rudzinska for the women's. And 9.99 from Stephanie Pitchler is another good time as well. That should see her also in the top 16. Claudia Buxek on the right hand side up against Cécile Avezou of France on the left. Nice good start there by Buxek, 22-year-old athlete from Tarnow, world ranked 8th. 9.96. 13.31 from Cécile Avezou, and after the first one not putting in a time, she needed to get a good one there. 13.31 for her. 9.96 for Claudia Buxek there. That's going to be seeing her into the top 16. Claudia has been as high as 7th in the World Cup rankings at the end of 2012. She came 5th at Baku just recently, 14th at Chongqing. Won a silver medal last year at Val d'Aon. That was 2012. But also came first at the female juniors Edinburgh 2010. Our next two athletes, Mina Markovic and Katarina Sawine, both climbers that are used to competing on lead and bouldering only.
Ready? Allez, c'est parti.
15.46 for Katarina Sawine. Mina with 20.52. The reason that these athletes are competing for this one is that they're trying to compete for the overall European Championship combined. That overall title does include the bouldering as well. That's obviously not happening here, that'll be happening a little bit later on. This is Petra Klingler against Rebecca Stotz now, another two athletes that are competing for the overall title of European champion. The people that are in the overall category, they're competing with themselves, the other athletes that are in the overall category. So the reason that they're doing this is to try and get the highest rank against the other athletes that are competing in lead, bouldering and also speed. Coming first in speed will give you the most amount of points, same for in lead and same for in bouldering. Overall, the one with the most points in all three of those categories becomes the European champion in the overall category.
Ready?
Kira Ragora against Katerina Posch now. Katerina, another one going for the overall title. Agora taking a quick lead here, Posch. Trying to put in a good time here. She's up to 8 seconds now. Can she get it below 16? 14.68 there for her. 11.60 for Chiara. Let's see whether that's enough to see them through. We'll see Chiara through. I don't think it will be at this late stage in the game, unfortunately. Talia Iacoliva here up against Martina Zanetti.
Ready?
Dinara Fakritinova up against Nina Lach here. Dinara still managing to put in a relatively good time. 10 seconds around, 11.27 there for her against 11.47. We're still looking at around the 9-second mark to try and make it through into the finals round. Our next two athletes then will be number 34, Patricia Schuziak, up against Barbara Backer on the right. Here's a replay though of that last climb. Barbara Backer falling behind here. Patricia Schuziak just passing the 10-second mark, 10.06. That could be enough, actually. When we're looking at the 16, that could be enough to see her through. We'll wait and see who's in our top 16 after we finish the competition here for the qualifications. Our next two athletes then are Jenny Levada up against Federica Mingola.
Est-ce que Merci encore. Merci. Au revoir.
Jenny Levada, Federica Mingola, both athletes competing earlier today in the women's lead qualification round. Jenny is through to the semi-finals. It will be happening tomorrow. Join us tomorrow for semi-finals and finals. Remember as well, it is finals day tomorrow for the lead climbing. A bit of a finals day here today as well, as we have paraclimbing finals about to kick off a little bit later on today. Plenty more coverage still yet to come. Excitement's only going to raise up from here as we move on to the speed final later on this evening. Alina Gaeta-Makina and Ilaria Gudotti. Gaeta-Makina putting in some slow times today for her. 9.67, it's enough I think to see her through, but she's climbing a lot slower than we're used to seeing from the world ranked number 2. See it on her face as well, does not look happy at all with the performance here today. Two new athletes, Teresa Galucci and Margarita Zakharova.
Ready?
Zakharova 11.63, 12.28 from Galucci. And our last climb then for the women's qualifications. Next, Andrea Ebner up against Ala Marienc. This will decide once and for all who those 16 placements are, going through to later this evening for the speed finals. You can find all the details for where and when we are covering and what we are covering on the IFSC's website if you're not watching us on there at the moment, ifsc-climbing.org. Ala Marienc now on the right hand side, and Andrea Ebner on the left hand side. The last climb then for the women's qualifications. Results will be posted as soon as possible once the judges have dealt with any appeals that might be happening a little bit later on. Marienc putting in a good time here by the look of things. A slip, a pause, and it's turned into 11.79 unfortunately after a good start there for Marienc. Andrea Ebner with 16.12. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, for the speed qualifications, men's and women's. Those results will be up as soon as possible. Once the judges have gone through everything, made sure there are no appeals and dealt with any problems that there might be, you'll be able to find the results up online as soon as possible. And of course you can watch this on YouTube as a replay as soon as we conclude here. Thank you for being with us. We'll be back later on this evening with the para-climbing finals. I can't stress enough how much I want you guys to come back for that one in the World Championships in Paris last year. It was amazing. It's bound to be amazing here again today. 6 categories all in all, roughly 20 to 24 athletes coming through into the paraclimbing finals. We'll be back in a few hours' time with that one. We'll see you then.